Now, I was going to do this video differently at first. I was going to get on here and rage and, rah, 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 but I don't need to do that because I took some time, I calmed down, and I realized this is kind of like their MO, right? This is how they got things like Monitor Comics to pull down his Twitter thread about people sharing their experiences with them. Um, Stuff like that. What they do is they get on you know what? Before I actually just get into that, I'm going to play the video and show you the messages and then we'll resume. So let's do that first. So here is the video that now mind you, I do not follow people from Saturday AM really. Maybe there I'm not going to say no. Maybe I follow like one or two people still. But only time I see them is because I'm an artist, so I'm looking at artist reels and stuff like that, and sometimes something of theirs pops up. So this is like a little interview that Frederick Jones did, and I put a comment on there. But let's we can live react to the little interview together.
There was and are some pushback. If you were to say hip hop can only be Black American, there'd be a lot of people who would be offended by that. Our mission to creating diversity and representation is too important to be distracted by some of those things.
How do you work with the community to make sure that other artists are included?
We've had creators from New Zealand, Brazil, Argentina, Denmark, Nigeria, Senegal, and so forth. Well, I do not draw. My powerful stick figure art is not enough to sell books. Clock Striker, I created, which is Shonen Manga's first Black female lead character. I had a lot of Black creators who were not creating Black characters in their manga. And when I asked that, well, they felt it would be forced to include someone who looked like them.
Like it just made sense.
It made sense to just not have Black people in it because they've never seen it in manga. It's not a question of their own personal feelings about being Black or Latino. It's hard for them to imagine how it would work. That's why representation matters.
What has been the response of the community?
Well, first of all, it's been phenomenal. We're proud to be a Black-owned company. There are people who'll be upset about that, but there are more people who are honored. Yes. The challenge, of course, is...
Okay. So that was it, right? So I didn't agree with the whole Black creators are, scared to showcase Black people because they didn't feel it was right? So this is my comment, right? This is my comment. This is the thing that got them to lie on me. I don't think it's people can't imagine Black people in manga. I think they don't. I think they don't. Uh, I cannot read. I think they just don't think about it until people push them into doing it. Apple Black, for example, didn't start off with Nova. She was pushed in there during the second iteration. I don't think White couldn't imagine Black characters in his main core characters. He probably just thought he made cool characters. That's it. What is wrong with saying that? Is that not a fact? The first iteration of Apple Black, there were no main cast Black characters. Where was I wrong in that? Where what I just said that. And it's not like I was like, oh, the company, this is such a crappy company, blah blah blah. I hate them. I can't stand them. There was none of that. So, of course, I get pushed back because, my people, anytime you say something against Black people, there's always pushback. So this woman said, how do you know this? Did he tell you that he was pushed into adding Black characters? I was watching him on YouTube when he talking about his manga and teaching viewers how to draw. And I vividly remember he had tutorials on how to draw Black hairstyles, and that was many years ago. Yeah, that doesn't defeat my point. Let's address this young lady. That doesn't defeat my point. I literally said just because he has tutorials on how to draw Black people, that actually That actually doesn't do anything against my point. My point was when he made his series, he didn't have a black main cast member. The people, Simon, Lily, I think, Neon, um, Sano, and Re Ryuzaki, is that him? The one that's angry all the time, Simon. All that none of them were black, right? So you're not defeating my point. In fact, you're kind of proving my point because I'm saying I don't think these people were just scared to put black people out. You're actually proving my point. So, young lady, with all due respect, you don't know what you're talking about. And this is my problem. People just go off of their emotions and not actually read what I said because what I said was 100% true. Maybe it's not because they're scared to have black people in their comics as the main focus. Maybe it's just they didn't think about the skin color. Your statement has not disproven that at all. I never got the impression people pushed him into including black people due to his manga simply not being heavily known about back then. Well, the thing is, he did have a it still doesn't disprove my point. The first iteration, the book, I have the book. I don't have it on me, unfortunately, because a lot of my stuff is in storage, but I have the first book. Okay. There was no Nova there. So you're still not disproving my point. And he was just an example. It's like this one. I'm just using an example, and this is another problem. I'm gonna sidebar. This is another problem I have with commenters on the internet. No offense, I appreciate y'all, but even even y'all do it, right? I'll be the whole point of the video will be focused on something else, but the example that I give that prove my point for the video, you focus on the example. You focus, and now we're in the discussions talking about the example. We're not talking about what my overall message was. We're talking about that specific example that you did not like. And it's like, it's just an example, dude. I was just using an example that everybody would be familiar with. It's not that deep. Blah blah blah. Also, I'm pretty sure the man in the video was speaking from real conversations he's had with black animators. I don't know your take on the sounds. I don't know your take on the sounds like pure speculation based on your own projected biases. It's just straight bullshit. Well, here's the thing, young lady. You're doing the same thing, right? And I never said that my opinion was the true opinion. I talked to White and he told me this. I just speculated. Like you're speculating that that's not the reason. It's called an opinion. Everybody can have it. It doesn't mean it's the right opinion. It's just that's an opinion I have. So, irrelevant lady just jumped in just to say some crap that did nothing to disprove what I said, except she just wanted to, get me told, as the youngins say. But anyway, now let's get to this wonderful person. And this is why I say Saturday AM, and it's really Saturday PM. And I'm going to say, I'm even going to give some leniency and say that it's not the actual company, it's just who runs their social media. But I got to sit there and say this. You really have someone on your social media team that runs around finding comments because I didn't tag them. They run around finding comments, scrolling through comments to find the negative comments so they can write bull crap like this. This person has a number of videos and comments from known trolls attacking Saturday AM in white manga. Look at my channel. Look at my channel. How many videos of Saturday AM do you see? And more so, how many times do you see me actually like tag them to get their attention? I don't do it. I have two videos. One is where White Manga got on Kickstarter, and then the second one is my feelings about Saturday AM. And my overall feelings was this is what I've heard from such and such. This is what I've personally experienced with them. Overall, I'm not saying don't be a part of the company. I'm not saying don't support them. What I'm saying is if you get involved with them, know what you're going to get yourself into. Okay? Stop walking into these companies. And this is not even this is even beyond Saturday AM. Don't walk into these companies thinking we're best friends because a lot of people, and I pointed, not only did I point out the flaws in Saturday AM that I've seen, I've also pointed out the people that naively just think Saturday AM is your best friend and we're just going to go to these conventions and sell books together and it's going to be great. That's not the case. Like, that's not the case at all. They're a business. They're going to put their goals over you. So if they have to like push you to the side in order to get their goals ahead, they're going to do it for the sake of the company. And it's not something that I said is an evil thing. What I'm saying is that's business. You want the company to thrive. You're not really focused on the individuals thriving. You need to have the company thrive. Now, like I said, you can thrive within the company, right? But the company is not about you. And that goes for any business. And that's just business. The company goes above everything. The wellness of the company goes above everything. So, one of the trolls he supports even burned a copy of Apple Black as criticism. Who? Who? And you know what pisses me off? Just because you comment on someone's video doesn't mean you support them. Like, sorry, my nose is itching. That makes no sense. You comment on a person's video, therefore, no, there's plenty of videos that come up on my freaking YouTube that they recommended that they think is like the best thing ever for me to watch. And it's like I just leave comments and continue scrolling. Like, or I watched it, I leave my comment, and then I just go to another video. Just because I leave a comment on somebody, and I don't even know who the hell you're talking about. I don't know who burnt a copy of Apple Black as criticism. I don't know who did that. I don't know who did that. I will tell you this, and this is why I'm not so pissed off about trolling, because like I said, that's your MO. But please believe anything that I say in regards to Saturday AM, I am not trolling. I wholeheartedly believe a lot of the things, well, I would say damn near everything. And I'm gonna just say damn near everything because I've looked at different people's experiences, I've heard different people's experiences, and I don't think it's right for the company to every time they get something negative against them, they go, they do this. They're just trolls and they don't want to see us succeed and they're haters or racists or bigots. They never address what is actually said. They just see something they don't like and then they automatically assume this is a troll. Now, here's the thing. You mess with the wrong one. What is this? You know what this is? This is Ghoul's Corpse. You know what that is? That's one of your pilot test flights for Saturday AM, right? Because I participated in that because I don't hate the company. I participated in that. This is the first version of that. This is the second version where I kind of changed the story up. This is second version. By the way, this second version won their summer of manga contest, but it didn't work out. And you can watch my other video on my thoughts about Saturday AM, and you can see that. But clearly, I wasn't hating on them. I wanted to be a part of them at some point, right? Let's go to the next thing. What do we have here? Oh, we have 119 issue of Saturday AM to download. Oh my gosh. 119. What else do we have here? Here, let's open this up. See how all this says like Saturday AM? There's 16 right there. There's 18 right there. There's 15 right there. Oh my gosh, it's kind of like, a person actually did not hate the company. What do we have here? Oh, we have fan art. We have fan art drawn for Saturday AM. That was supposed to be the bully eater main character. It looks terrible. I totally agree. Um, and this was stuff for Halloween, during Halloween, that I drew. I drew two different designs for them, and that's a character I drew. So it's like what ticks me off is that I'm a troll, but it's like I've literally been supporting the guy, and I got books. I got Apple Black, the first uh iteration of it. I got one, two, three. I got Saigami one, two. I have Soul Beat. I have Hammer one and two, and I have Islander. Now, some of those, aren't properties anymore. But the fact of the matter is, I don't hate this company. I wasn't trolling them just because, and I'm starting to realize this more and more. Just because, let's stop this for a second. Just because I I pride myself on being as honest as possible, right? And it's like it's to my detriment. I agree. It's to my detriment, but it's also like where you stand with me. So just because we're friends doesn't mean, and my best friend says it all the time. He's like, sometimes you can be an asshole. And it's like, I'm not trying to be just an asshole. Like, I'm just letting you know my honest feelings about it. And some people, especially Saturday AM, they can't handle people just expressing their honest feelings. I've never once said, don't support the company, throw their books away. I've never done anything to their books. I don't know this person who has burnt their books. Maybe there was a freaking person that did it in passing that I commented on, but it wasn't like something I directly did. Like, yeah, he's burning books. Go him. Like, I don't know these people. I don't know everybody that I comment on a YouTube video and then know their past. Like, oh, I was going to comment on this video, but a couple of years ago, he burned a book in rebellion against Saturday AM. I don't look into people's stuff that deep. I just comment and I go on my way. Now I will say this: another reason I don't care about the troll comments is because I guess if you want to see it as trolling, that's neither here or there because, like I said, that's your main defense all the time. Anybody that says anything you don't like is trolling. And it really should, well, let me pull it back and just finish what they were saying. One of the trolls he supports even burns a copy of Apple Black as criticism, which is a lie. I don't know who that person is, but have at it. Also, I don't believe I'm a troll because if you look at their 10-year span and it says I'm a known troll, look at their 10-year span and see how many times you find me actually saying something about Saturday AM. I don't say too much about Saturday AM. I might have left a comment here and there sprinkled, but I'm not a known troll. In fact, like I said, I've supported them a lot and I've participated in a lot of their competitions. So known troll is not what I am. But you lied about that. Then you lied about I support this person that burns books. I don't know who the hell that is. Um, we document every comment these trolls make in video for our legal team. Huh. So this is what I was saying earlier about Monitor Comics. What they do is they scare you with the legal team, and you're like, oh crap, I have to take my stuff down. Tell me, tell me, and this comment right here, I'm gonna leave it up for you to read. Tell me where would they legally they would take this to court. Tell me where they would take this to court. I didn't defame the company. I didn't do anything like that. And that's what they do. That's what they do. And that's why I got a little nervous when every time I was asking him questions when we were trying to work together back in the past, he kept saying, "Oh, that needs to be under an NDA, needs to be behind an NDA." Because I'm starting to believe, and like I said, speculation. I'm gonna go with what the sister said. Amin Ra. I'm gonna go with what the sister said. Speculation. They use that NDA, so if you leave the company, you cannot say anything. You cannot say anything about how they actually treat you or actually run anything. So, and that's my speculation, but it's an opinion, and you're allowed to have an opinion. So don't sit there and be like, we're going to get our legal team on you for what? An opinion? Yeah, it's going to get thrown out, but whatever. Anyway, you're right to suspect this is wild, but reality is that whenever we succeed or have a press, they often will attempt to dilute it via actions like this. It's harassment, plain and simple and weird, but we will continue to document this nonsense. Either way, thanks for your support. What is harassing about this? I don't think it's people can't imagine black people in manga. I think they just don't think about it until people push them into doing it. Apple Black, for example, didn't start off with Nova. She was pushed in there during the second iteration, which is a fact. The first iteration did not have Nova in it. I don't think White couldn't imagine black characters in his main core characters. He probably just thought he made cool characters. That's it. Where's the harassment? So, what this person did was a lie and make it seem like I'm this known troll that supports people that burn their books. So now you got this stupid Amin Ra. I'm sorry, you're stupid because that's exactly what you are. Wow. I appreciate you sharing that with me. I felt like his comment was anti-black and blatantly taken away from the overall message, which was super positive, by the way. And that's the problem right there. That one sentence, I felt his comment was anti-black. Where was the anti-black? And that's what I'm saying. That's why I cannot stand these people. Where was the anti-black in this comment? All I said is I don't think black people can't imagine other black people in their manga. How is that anti-black? And this is why I'm doing this from another approach and not like trying to dig in Saturday AM's like booty. Because the fact in no homo. The fact in the matter is this: their fans are not my fans, okay? And they never will be, and I never want his fans because they're low-level thinkers. They're low-level thinkers. All they see is my skin color, my skin color, my skin color, my skin color. Oh, he said something with my skin color in it, and I don't agree with it. Therefore, he's anti-black. He's anti-this. He's racist, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you can't get through to people like that. You can't get through to people like that. So it's like I'm not even anti-black. And this comment had nothing to do with being anti-black. If anything, it's saying black people aren't scared to show other black people in their comics, in their mangas. Like, where is the anti-black? I'm saying black people aren't scared to show that. They aren't scared to show black people. And then this stupid idiot, sorry, you're stupid, said, I remember having seen tutorials of him drawing black hairstyles many years ago because he's not scared to show black people. Like, what is the brains on these people? I'm sorry. All they see is, like I said, they're low level thinkers. All they see is their skin color. Everything's their skin color. Skin color, black. I'm 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 black. This is one of the reasons I didn't want to work with Saturday AM anymore. I stopped pursuing them. And I let all the projects that could have been fall at the wayside with them because I'm tired. I'm so tired. And the world is getting tired, to be quite honest, of black. I'm blackety black. I'm blackety black, 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 black. That's all my character is blackety blackety black. Black, 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 black. And it's like, shut up. Just be a fucking. Didn't mean to cuss. Just be a person, okay? So nothing was anti-black about that comment. But of course, like I said, low-level people. So of course, I got pissed off. Let's read the one that's not directed at Saturday PM, who decided to lie on me completely. So to lady that can't really comprehend what I was saying. It's not your fault that you are a dummy. Except I'm not a known troll, nor have I burnt any books. Just because someone points out something doesn't mean they are trolling. And this is my problem with Saturday
The
AM.
world collapsed, and the last survivors of humanity retreated beneath the massive dome surrounding the city of Azure, protected by artificial gods known as the Gold Eye. For 2 years now, the people of Azure believed the outside world was uninhabitable, until a stranger arrives, claiming humanity can finally leave the dome behind. Inlock is a dark sci-fi fantasy manga about broken gods, political control, and challenging what it means to survive. Check out volume 1 through 4 on www.freyofficial.com.
Just because you point out something that they're doing wrong or you critique them or something like that, you're a troll. You're a troll. It's like they're perfect. They're perfect angels that can't do anything wrong. It baffles me how y'all just believe anything someone says just because you don't like their opinion. I could have wrote that sentence better, admittedly. What I was trying to say is it baffles me how you just kind of believe what the company says just because you don't like the person's opinion that's going against them. That's basically what I was trying to say. They literally lump anyone who says anything about them as haters, racists, etc. They have a history of this all over Twitter and their magazine, and even people who have worked with them are thrown into here about they yet sorry, I was raging. Let's see if I can decipher my own writing. um they have a history of all of this all over Twitter, and their magazines and even people who have worked with them are thrown into here. Yet they have no history of me being a known troll. So, which is true. They don't call me a troll. Now I will say this, White Manga and Frederick have unfollowed me on Instagram, and that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. That was before I started actually picking up making my YouTube as much. But and that's because of my opinions on the Orange Man. That's more so that way. It's not because they saw a comment I left and was like, "Oh, I can't associate with that dude." Now let's get to the fun one that I blasted Saturday PM for lying, completely lying. But I'm not a known troll, nor have I burnt any books. I've actually bought multiple Saturday AM books. Pointing out a difference in the work is not trolling you. So STFU and continue with your work instead of lying on me and putting me in a class where I'm not, because that's exactly what you did. And then, mom came in. Mom came in and broke the kids up. Settle down, children. You said enough. You're done here. Please stop. And I know she was directing that at me. And I said, yeah, so they get to lie on me and I'm the bad guy. Like, so after that, everybody stopped. So that's how they lied on me. Now, I want to point out something. One, I'm not going to at them because it goes against what I set as a standard for the channel. I was in the heat of the moment. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna at them, I'm gonna blast them and blah blah. But it's like, you know what? If they find the video, they find the video. But I'm not going to at them and bring their attention because this is not a beef channel. I say what I say, and then I leave it at that. I don't need to at people to gain drama followers. I'm not going to make like 20, 21,000 videos on not even 10, 15 videos on the same person over and over and over and over again. Okay. Because at some point, it also just gets repetitive, right? you're just you're just saying the same thing over and over again about the people. And that's another reason I'm not going to continue to talk about Saturday AM all the time on here. Like this is my third video of theirs. It's gonna be a while because, like I said, I don't even follow their stuff anymore. It just randomly pops up every now and then. But I'm not gonna make this a whole channel. It's just like, and I'm gonna say it. I made a video on Sean James, and there is I respect you, brother, and I appreciate you following, but now it's just, oh, I want a video about Sean James. React to this video. React to that video. React to that video. I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm not gonna do, okay, I lied. I'll do it for money. And here's the thing. Did you know on my website, freyofficial.com, there is a membership page, and I have exclusive videos on that membership page, which is only $3 a month. You also get to read Inlock for free. So, go over there if you want to, if you want to see more stuff. I did do another Sean James video over there if that's what you're into. But you can even you can request stuff over there. Like but I'm not this main channel, I am not going to make it a well, we're just going to keep hammering on one person or we're going to keep focus on one person. No, I do a lot of variety stuff here. Um I have my own personal subjects that I want to talk about. Sometimes I will address other people in their videos. Of course, the con recaps are up there. I think I want to start doing more of drawing videos where it's like drawing voiceovers so you can see me drawing more because it is an art channel. So why am I not doing art on the art channel, right? So I'm not going to at them because like I said, I'm not really trying to chase Saturday AM clout, nor am I trying to sit there and, have everybody come over here just to watch beefing, okay? And any of that is paywall. Paywall, sorry. I can't believe they have people who actually roam the internet looking for troll comments, quote unquote, which is just the word for anything negatively said about them. I can't believe they have people to actually like look over stuff like that and address it. Like if you look at the comments on that page, if you look at the comments on that page, everything is like overwhelmingly positive for them, right? Continue to keep moving forward and keep changing stereotypes in manga. The most HD Frederick L has ever been. Well, that's funny. Phenomenal. This is what progressive stories look like. Yes, representation matters. Definitely going to check them out. Hands up, fire, righteous. Wow, I need to check them out. Clap hands. You see all this stuff, like all this stuff is sitting there like positive, but whoop, they saw the one negative comment and now he's a troll. He supports people that burn our books and calls it criticism. But don't worry, we have our legal team on him. So you need to just thank you for your support anyway. It's harassment to say that the first iteration of Apple Black had no main black character in the main cast. It's harassment to say that. This Amin Ra chick talking about tutorials and blah blah blah. Apparently you're not. I've watched white manga since like the conception of like y'all don't know. I used to really like look up to White, right? I even though he's younger than me, I don't look at age as something to like dismiss you. Okay. I saw this man who was sitting there making these phenomenal drawings that look similar to Bleach, and I'm not knocking his style, but what I'm saying is it looked that good and it was like professional. And I'm like, I'm not there yet. And right now I don't think I'm there either, but I have my own distinct style and it looks nice. But I was like, this dude looks like a professional Japanese mangaka. So I would always look at his tutorials and look at his stuff. And then it's like he did Apple Black. And I was like, cool. And I love Apple Black. And then he came out with Volume 1 and I bought a Volume 1. I was like, I'm invested. And then it's like, especially once he became like co-owner of the company, it was just like he started morphing a little bit. But that's all speculation of what I've seen is based on, and that's another thing. If I make comments about Saturday AM, it's based on what they have said, what I've seen, or what I've experienced through them, or what others have reported their experience was with them. And I'm telling you, Monitor Comics, I go to because they got it taken down. There was a huge thread of people who have worked with Saturday AM that was talking about the treatment of Saturday AM. I'm not saying anything bad or good. I'm just saying they talked a lot about the treatment of Saturday AM and it was taken down. If you go to Coffee Comics page, I'm not going to, he has more videos about Saturday AM than I have. Okay. And whether if you can get past all the derogatory terms and blah 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 blah, if you can get past all that and you can just listen to the comments and people's stories and all that stuff, then you'll understand. But once again, I've never said don't associate with Saturday AM. I just say don't go in there naively thinking that we're best friends and we're buddy buddy and everything's going to be kumbaya and sprinkles and marshmallows and rainbows. Don't do that. It's a company. The company is above you. Whatever's best for the company is what's going to take priority. You're not priority to them. You are a cog in the system. Okay. And that's not to say that that's not everybody in the world, right? That's not to say that that's not everybody in the world. Like everybody's a cog in the system. So, you go to your job, you're a cog in a system. So I'm not saying it as a derogatory thing, but what I'm saying is, you know, that's what you are. So see it as that and not as like this big old family adventure, like we're going on One Piece or something, like the One Piece and venture. And yeah, anyway, that's it. But it's really, to me, it's really shows kind of like an insecurity and a paranoia with the company that they have people that are watching like a hawk, trolls, as they would say. But that is them, like I said, and I'm still not going to sit there and say, don't support the company. Support them if that's what you're into. I'm not. Um, I clearly made it known that their mission is not something I want to be a part of. If diversity and all that crap matters to you and you want to support them, go support them. I'm no longer supporting them, but you can go support them all you want. You be the judge about their stories and all that stuff. I'm not I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm not telling you not to enter their contest and try to be a part of the company. I'm not saying that. If that's what you want to do, go do that. I just give my opinion on how I feel and why I don't want to no longer associate myself with that company or want to actually work with that company in any capacity. So that's it. Sounded like a rant, and it mostly was. But it's like I was really peed off because it's like, but I should know that's kind of like their statement. That's what they do. That's what they do. They call you a troll. They say we got legal team on you, and thanks for continue supporting us because the haters are after us, even though we're going to continue to thrive and blah blah blah. It's the same old formula that they always do. But I was I was I was kind of peed off about that at first, but it's just what they do. And it's what they're going to do all the time. They're never going to actually address or read what you say. They're going to just sit there and say, you said something that we don't agree with. So therefore, you're a hater, you're a troll, you're racist, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, I'm going to jump off of here. Thank you for watching. If you want to hear more stuff, me rambling or con recaps or just honest talks about different things about art, hit me up, subscribe, like stuff, share it if you want to. Also, don't forget to go over to the website if you want to support the channel for official, get Inlock and prints and hire me for a commission and, you know, do all that wonderful stuff. But until next time, continue valuing yourself and continue creating. But I know it's supposed to be the other way around. Continue creating and continue valuing yourself. I'm out.